lecture series on Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 2. Myself, Jaimin Pandya, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this lecture, I will give brief overview on Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 2. According to syllabus, there are mainly 3 chapters. Chapter number 1, which is a phase equilibrium. In this chapter, we will talk about vapor-liquid equilibrium, nature of equilibrium, phase rule and Duham's theorem. Vapor-liquid equilibrium is important for designing any distillation column. Vapor-liquid equilibrium data can be generated from using Rao's law and various activity models. So in this lecture, we will talk about the basic fundamental of vapor-liquid equilibrium process. Then we will understand the equilibrium at microscopic level. Then we will talk about the phase rule, which means degree of freedom, which denoted by capital F, and that used for the find out independent variable for any system. By fixing that independent variable, we can completely define that system. So we will talk about the phase rule for the non-reacting system in this chapter. Then we will talk about the Duham's theorem, which contain intensive and extensive property, where in phase rule we are only intensive property, where in Duham's theorem we are contain intensive and extensive property. Then we will talk about the VLE quantitative behavior, in which we are going to understand TXY diagram for binary system and PXY diagram for binary system and complete miscible system. Then we will talk about azeotropic mixture. Azeotropic mixture, which means mixture made of two components which has near boiling point, or can say that azeotropic mixture, which means constant boiling point. Then we will talk about the retrograde condensation. Retrograde condensation, which used for the find out pressure and temperature data for any solution. Then we will talk about the various types of azeotropic mixture or azeotrope, such as a minimum boiling azeotrope and maximum boiling azeotrope. Then we will talk about various model for vapor liquid equilibrium. Then we will talk about the Rao's law, which used for find out dew point and bubble point for any system. For the ideal system, there are mainly two assumptions for the Rao's law. First one, that can be given by liquid phase in solution is an ideal liquid and vapor phase of that system is an ideal gas. Then we will talk about the various calculation from Rao's law using dew point calculation and bubble point calculation. Rao's law that can be given by YIP is equal to XIPI saturated. Then we will talk about the Henry's law, which used for the dilute solution. We know that Rao's law is used for the ideal solution, where Henry's law that used for the dilute solution. Then we will talk about vapor liquid equilibrium by modified Rao's law. We cannot apply Rao's law to real system or dilute system. That's why it's need to modify that Rao's law. So we will talk about the modified Rao's law for the real system. Then we will talk about the K value, which used for find out heavy and light solution. Then we will talk about the flex calculation, which used for the material balance of vapor and liquid component. Then we will talk about the gamma phi formulation, which relate fugacity and activity of any component. Then we will talk about the introduction to the equilibrium and stability, how the equilibrium at microscopic level and what is stability of that equipment and particular reaction. Then we will talk about the liquid-liquid equilibrium. We generate liquid-liquid equilibrium data for design extraction column. So it is required and can say that basic requirement to design liquid-liquid extraction column, it's require liquid-liquid equilibrium data. Then we will talk about the solid-liquid equilibrium. Solid-liquid equilibrium, which used for the understand process of crystallization. Then we will talk about vapor liquid equilibrium. Vapor liquid equilibrium data used for separation of partially miscible system. Then we will talk about the solid equilibrium data, which used for the crystallization process. Solid vapor equilibrium data that used for the sublimation process. So we will talk about this all type of PXY, TXY diagram for the system and understand vapor liquid equilibrium. Then after chapter number 2, which is a solution thermodynamic, this chapter is divided in two categories: theory for the thermodynamic property and application for the thermodynamic property. So in this chapter number 2, we will talk about the fundamental property relation that relate internal energy, enthalpy, Gibbs free energy and Helmholtz energy. Using this equation can generate the data for the chemical potential and talk about the chemical potential. Chemical potential, which means Gibbs free energy per mole at constant temperature and constant pressure for particular substance. Then we will talk about the partial molar property. So what is meaning of partial molar property? If we are going to add 100 ml water to second 100 ml water, we will get 200 ml water. But if we are going to add 100 ml water with 100 ml ethanol, we cannot get 200 ml mixture. So this called a partial molar property. If we want to understand behavior of these two systems, if I am going to add water to 100 ml water to 100 ml ethanol, how much amount of solution becomes, that can be predicted using the solution thermodynamic, and that's known as a partial molar property. So we'll talk about the partial molar property in this chapter. Then we'll talk about the various method for find out the partial molar property, various basic consideration in partial molar property, effect of partial molar property on Gibbs energy, volume, enthalpy, entropy and other parameter. Then we'll talk about the ideal gas mixture model, and then we'll talk about the fugacity and fugacity coefficient. What is meaning of fugacity? Fugacity, which means effective pressure. So now let's talk about application of solution thermodynamic. In this part of this chapter, we will talk about the various application of solution thermodynamic. We know that Raoult's law that can be given by YIP is equal to XIPI saturated, and that can be applied for the ideal solution. But we cannot apply this YIP is equal to XIPI saturated to real solution. We cannot apply the Raoult's law to the real solution. That's why it's need to require various model that generate VLE data for the any system. So there are various equations that generate VLE data for the real solution, such as a local composition model, Van Laar equation, Margulis equation, NRTL equation, Uniquec equation and Unifac method. So we'll talk about this all type of equation and method to find out the VLE data for the real solution. Then we'll talk about the consistency test for this all data. Then we'll talk about the chapter number 3, which is a reaction equilibrium. In this chapter, we'll talk about the reaction coordinate, application of equilibrium criteria to chemical reaction, the standard Gibbs free energy change and equilibrium constant, effect of temperature on equilibrium constant. We know that reaction may categorize such as a exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, heat is released during the reaction, where in endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding. So, if we provide heat to exothermic reaction, equilibrium constant will decrease. So, this is the effect of temperature on equilibrium constant. If we are going to increase temperature in endothermic reaction, equilibrium constant will be increased because this reaction requires heat. In exothermic reaction, heat is not required. That's why system is liberate heat from system to surrounding. And if we are going to apply the heat to the exothermic reaction, what happen? Equilibrium constant or equilibrium will be decreased. That's why yield will be decreased. So this is a basic effect of temperature on equilibrium constant, and that can be represented by one top equation. So we'll talk about the one top equation in this chapter. Then we'll talk about the equation of equilibrium constant and relation of equilibrium constant to the composition for liquid phase and gas phase reaction. Then we'll talk about the calculation of equilibrium conversion for the single reaction and multi reaction. Then we'll talk about the Gibbs phase rule for reacting system. In previous chapter, we'll talk about the Gibbs phase rule for non-reacting system. Now we have to find out the degree of freedom at in a reactor. Then we have to consider reacting system. So we'll talk about the Gibbs phase rule for the reacting system in this chapter. So this is all about the chemical reaction equilibrium. After completing this subject, you are able to explain fundamental of solution thermodynamic, phase equilibria and reaction equilibrium. After completing this course, you are able to apply fundamental of property relation to find out thermodynamic property of solution. You are able to calculate maximum extent of separation possible under prevailing operating condition for various multi-phase component system. After completing this subject, you are able to determine thermodynamic property such as fugacity, activity coefficient, constant of Model's equation for the solution, and you are able to determine equilibrium conversion of reaction system and its dependency on various operating system. So this is all about this lecture. I am completing my lecture here. Thank you.